Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Actually, I love the Shabbat when I can look outside and it's still light out. It's really great timing here today. So, Shabbat Shalom, everyone. It's great to see you here for our musical Shabbat service. Many thanks to the Moody Jews for livening up our worship today. It's great to have you here. Tonight, very last-minute idea because Rachel Fisher, who is the advisor for our senior youth group called Speedy, San Pedro Temple Youth, she sent me this link, or this blog post, which said, we're trying to have teens take over the Bima. I think it's hashtag teens take over the Bima. Is that right, Jordan?
Something like that, yeah.
There's a hashtag there. It's used on something called Twitter. Have anyone ever heard of that before? What? Teens take the Bima.
Teens take the Bima, hashtag.
Hashtag,
yes.
Right? There you go. And just the idea is there's been a lot of activity in recent weeks following the Parkland shootings, with teens really becoming activists. So we have invited 4 of our teens to share some reflections from the walkout, and they'll that a little bit later in the service. But I'm just so grateful for your very quick and enthusiastic response to share some words tonight. So, but we have ways to get there. We have some praying to do and some Shabbos to do, and just an opportunity just to breathe in all the goodness of this week and this Shabbat can offer us. And exhale all the tension and stress from the week that was. Breathe in the joy and possibilities. Exhale. And let's enter into Shabbat. On the screens behind me, I'd like to invite Shelley Zerkis to lead us in the blessing of the Shabbos candles. Everything is going to be on the screens, so follow along. If you want to be in the books, you can also, we have page numbers up there as well if you want to follow along in the prayer book.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.
The sweetness of the Kiddush wine reminds us of the sweetness of Shabbat and all that this day can offer. I invite you to please stand if you are able as we join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho be'ava u'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'resh
before we continue, just take a moment to reach out to those nearby, welcoming your friends and neighbors. Shabbat Shalom.
The middle seat. The middle seat. Perfect. So I'll put this in the middle.
Oops. It's just the walk.
It's just the walk. It's not the walking. Okay, so just. So yeah. Whichever. I mean, just tell the page number. You know, bottom, top, whatever, 40 to 49, and then and just go right to the next one.
Which one? Okay, wait.
So you're doing Ma'ariv Aravim.
Both of these?
No, just one of them.
Just one of those?
One of these three.
Okay.
And then turn the page with the page number, then one of these three, whichever one you want to do.
Okay.
Should
All right.
I just assign you? Do you want to make it easier?
No.
Okay. Yeah. We can take our seats. How good and pleasant it is when we come together at all times, but especially on Shabbat. Hine Matov.
How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד. It is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this lovely day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day. How great it is for brothers and sisters to hang out on this day.
Come, let us sing joyously to God, Lachuna Ranana. Nekad mafana vetuda. Mizmirot, narialo. Lechu neranena laina. Naria letzur yishenu. Ki el gadol. Every Shabbat, the mystics who lived in Sfat, as the sun was setting, would go out and look out across the mountains at the setting sun and imagine the Shabbat, the Sabbath, coming in as if she were a bride. One poet named Shlomo Halevi Alkabetz put this idea, this image to words, into poetry in the words of Lecha Dodi, this prayer of welcome that we sing every Shabbat. Beloved, come meet the bride. Beloved, come greet Shabbat. We sing together.
Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. B'shmiyanu el ha'michad. Adonai echad u'shmo echad. L'shenu tiferet v'litzilah. Ya la la lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat לכו בנלכה. כי הנה הברכה מאוד מקרב לסמוכה. זאת נעשה בשבת תחילה. יא לה 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 lecha dodi. יא לה 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 likrat kala. יא לה 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי בעורף אורי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. יא לה לה lecha dodi. יא לה 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We rise to greet the Sabbath bride.
בואי ושלום עטרת עלה. גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה. Ya
Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat are intended to waken us, to get the blood flowing, the breath moving. I think we're there. So we're ready. Let's begin to pray.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed, Le'olam Va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bidbaro mariv aravi.
Bottom of page 149. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Together, Anai, Amariv, Agariv. And bottom of 151. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohei Amo Yisrael.
standing on departed shores of history. We still believe what we were taught. Before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it's eternally Egypt. But there's a better place, a promised land, and the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. That there's no easy way to get from here to there, except by joining hands, marching together, and singing ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, singing ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Moshe ומרים ובני ישראל לך אנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם יאי לה 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 yai la 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 la, singing yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la.
At the end of the night, the last words that are on our lips traditionally are the words of Shema and Hashkivenu, our nighttime prayer, in which we ask God to shelter us, to guard us, to embrace us, to wrap us up in a blanket of peace and protection and security. So at the end of the day, when we need a little bit more of that assurance, we look up to God and we feel God's presence around us. We sing these words of Hashkivenu, asking God to always protect us and be with us.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Hashkivenu Leshalom Ve'ha'avidenu Shomreinu Lechayim Ufros Aleinu Sukat Shlomecha Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Hashkivenu Leshalom. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storm. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam l'tolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam l'tolam. B'nei Ruven b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai et hashamayim et haaretz. Ubayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinavash. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam l'tolam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat.
Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened will. As we prepare to enter into our time of prayer, the 7 blessings of the Shabbat Tefillah, I'll invite you to stand if you are able. We'll share the first 3 blessings together on the screens, and then you'll be able to either turn inward and offer prayers from the heart, or if you want to return to the prayer book, you can simply pray the words between pages 171 and 181. Please be seated only when your personal prayer is finished.
Adonai Sfatai Tivtai על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם כי אתה הוא מלך אדום לכל השלום 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 שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל 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 בכל עת ובכל שעה בכל עת ובכל שעה בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך שלום רב על ישראל לעמך תשים לעולם שלום רב על ישראל לעמך תשים לעולם ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמו ישראל המברך את עמו ישראל
Take a moment now to offer Misha Berach L'Refuah, a prayer for healing, for all those who are in need of healing of body or mind or spirit. In just a minute, we'll lift our voices together as one congregation to share this prayer. But before we do, if you'd like to stand for a moment to get my attention and share aloud the name or names of those for whom you are praying this Shabbat, I invite you to do so now. Gloria?
Nadine Wilkerson.
Both my grandmas. Pat and Cyril Wade, Tamar Davidson.
Jay Boxerman, Sheila Weiss, Pat and Cyril Wade, Tamar Davidson, Winell Sinko.
For all those names and those whose names we hold in our hearts, we pray together.
אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. May the one who blessed our ancestors אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, ואימותינו שרה, רבקה, רחל ולאה, הוא יברך וירפא את החולים. And the words of Moshe Rabbeinu, we all pray. Refana,
bless and heal all of those in need. Hu yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh hacholim. Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all in need. Amen.
There's an interpretation of the prayer of Kiddushat Hayom that we recite every week during the tefillah, during the silent portion. Some of you may read it, some may not. It's one that I read every week. And it begins with the words, "Disturb us, Adonai, ruffle us from our complacency, make us dissatisfied with the peace of ignorance. The quietude which arises from a shunning of the horror, the defeat, the bitterness, and the poverty, physical and spiritual, of human." I was thinking of this, actually, I think about these words a lot every week, and especially how sometimes this disturbance can actually stir us into action. And we've certainly seen that over the last several weeks since the devastating horror at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida, where just a few weeks ago, on February 14th, a gunman went in with an automatic weapon and killed 17 innocent people. This tragedy had a deep effect on the Jewish community as well. 5 of those 17 were Jewish. A couple of them were members of Temple Beth Or in Parkland or in the surrounding area. I know the rabbi and the rabbis who had to minister to these families. But out of that horror came a sense of disturbance from students at Parkland and throughout South Florida caravanned up to Tallahassee to demand from their legislators and the state legislators to take action. And all throughout the nation, students, primarily students, have been stirred, they've been disturbed, they've been stirred into action. And one of the effects of that was this past Wednesday, when all throughout the country, students staged a walkout. Most of the schools walked out at 10 o'clock on Wednesday morning. One school walked out at 11 o'clock. We don't know why. Alexandra will speak about that in a moment. But they stood in solidarity with students everywhere who were demanding safe schools and a reduction in gun violence. And it's one thing for me to get up here and share the Jewish values of the respect for life and safety and security, but I think that the voices of our teens are much more powerful, which is why tonight we are honoring the North American Federation of Temple Youth, NIFTY, the National Youth Organization for the Reform Movement, who is calling on teens across the nation to take over the bima. Now, I don't think anyone's just going to come up on their own and just sort of take over the mic and just take over, but I think that with the special invitation that we've shared, I'm very pleased with about 24 to 36 hours notice. 4 of our teen leaders have responded, and many thanks, especially to Rachel Fisher, who, as our teen leader, was able to get the word out. And we're going to hear from them just some reflections from their different schools, 4 students representing 4 different schools. So we will hear in order from Jordan Davidson, followed by Hannah Brooks, Alyssa Wagner, and then last, Alexandra Zarki. Jordan.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Jordan Davidson. I go to San Pedro High School, and I'm in the 9th grade. And I participated in our school walkout on Wednesday because I wanted to show my support to the teens who lost their lives in the Parkland shooting. My school was threatened to be shot at during the walkout, but many of my classmates still did. My school gave the students 3 choices during the walkout. We could go to the field, and have an open discussion with our vice principal, or not participate and hang out in the gym. On our way out, we were supposed to introduce ourselves to 17 people that we didn't know, so that everyone knew that we weren't alone and that we could build a community. I chose to go to the field. When I got there, they passed out an orange piece of paper and a ribbon. We all stood in a peace sign and held up the paper. Our film teacher stood on the roof and took a picture of us. After the photo, everyone held hands and hung their heads in silence for 17 minutes. I hope that no one will ever have to endure anything like that, anything like the event that happened in Parkland. No one should be scared that someone will come to their school and open fire. I know that by showing my support towards the act against gun violence with my fellow students, we can help make a difference. I'm going to participate in the March to Save Lives, and I'm going to help to make things right. I'm also learning to be a leader, so that when I stand up, I will know what to do and be able to make a large impact. The motto at the school is be positive, be passionate, be proud to be an eagle. I will be positive, be passionate, and be proud to be a student who participated in the walkout.
Thank you. Shabbat Shalom. I'm Hannah Brooks, a ninth grader at Torrance High School. I'm like freaking out. Okay. I'm a ninth grader, if you didn't know already. I'm here to speak about gun violence and school safety. On Wednesday, I had an honor of walking out at school. They gave us a choice to go to the gym or the library or not go at all. I went into the gym, and it was a very nice ceremony. When I heard about the Parkland shooting, I was devastated. My heart sank, and for a couple of days, I kept on closing and opening my eyes and hoping this wasn't real. Unfortunately, I heard that a family friend's cousin lost their best friend in the Florida shooting. This made it even more devastating because I know somebody's close to me cousin's friend died. And I can't imagine going to school and not seeing my best friend the next day. Gun violence and violence in general needs to stop. There's no reason whatsoever for us to be scared to go to school and get shot. For a couple of days, I was really nervous to go to school because I was nervous that I would get shot. And guns in students' hands are not acceptable. It's not okay for somebody to be able to shoot us when we are innocent. We need good administrators to keep us safe, and we need to not let this shooting happen again. Enough is enough. We need the right of administrating our schools and securing gun laws. I am going to march on March 24th in the downtown LA Mock. I am so honored to be doing this. As a student, I will fight to make the change and do whatever I can. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Alyssa Wagner, and I'm a junior at North Torrance High School. I remember hearing news and reading posts about the Colorado movie theater, Sandy Hook, San Bernardino, Orlando, Las Vegas, Sutherland Springs, and now the Parkland shooting. I remember liking the posts that showed support and condolences to the victims and their families, but I never did anything beyond double tapping on Instagram. So when I heard about the National Walkout Day to protest gun violence, I was all for it. Mr. Scheck, our North High's principal, sent home an email to the parents informing the community that he supports and respects those who do and don't choose to participate in the walkout. As Wednesday approached, a few people asked if I was participating in the walkout, and my response was, yeah. Some people were ambivalent about missing class, and my response was, you do what you think is right. So, as I walked into school Wednesday morning, I wasn't sure how many students would be walking out, but the turnout was great. We gathered in our quad, forming a sea of black around 17 desks with the Parkland's victims' names and pictures. Students passed out orange bands as well as orange slips of papers that included different ways to how we could continue the movement. We stood in silence for 3 minutes. We then listened to students give speeches about gun statistics, how we should be a friend to someone sitting alone, how no one should suffer from a tragedy like this, and the importance of voting. As I was listening to students, I took in my surroundings. There were posters on buildings that read, #enough, #never again, #enough is enough, and am I going to be next? I saw our administrators and teachers and then thought about how incredible it was that there were other schools across the nation doing something very similar. I thought about how incredible it was how our nation was coming together after a tragic event to take action, and it warmed my heart. To continue making a difference beyond the school walkout, a few of my friends and I decided to commemorate the victims of mass shootings in our chalk walk design. Every year, my school lets the art students participate in an all-day chalk walk event, and this year the theme is Making a Difference. In the stars, it says never again, and then it has the cities with the date next to them. I've done too many art projects to count, but I can say hands down that this is one of the ones I'm most proud of. It's art with a message. Enough is enough. My French teacher told my class Thursday that she's proud that young people are making their voices be heard, and I am too.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Alexander Zarki, and I am an 11th grade student at Palos Verdes High School. This past Wednesday at 11 a.m., I chose to walk out of my classroom. That day, I not only walked out with my peers, but with students from all over the country. On Wednesday, March 14th, for my school at 11 a.m., we were one. We made history. For 17 minutes, in remembrance of 17 lives, thousands across the nation stood together in respect and determination. As I stood, I mourned the lives of Alyssa Alhadeff, Scott Bagel, Martin Duke Aguiano, Nicholas Dworet, Aaron Fies, Jamie Gutenberg, Chris Hickson, Luke Hoyer, Kara Lauren, Gina Montalto, Joaquin Oliver, Elena Petty, Meadow Pollock, Helena Ramsey, Alex Shatter, Carmen Shentrup, and Peter Wong. I, however, did not only mourn. I vowed to stand for them, to say the words that they no longer can, to promise that they did not die in vain. They were kids, just like me, who went to school to learn. School should be regarded as a safe place, yet one man with a gun was able to rob that from the students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. On Wednesday, I walked out for the 17 people who were lost. But I also walked out with a mission to protect education, a mission to make sure that school is a safe place. Our walkout at Palos Verdes High School really touched my heart. Students gave speeches, and we honored those lost in the shooting. I must say, however, that one facet of our walkout impacted me greatly. A fellow student of mine, after her speech, said that the real work would not start until 11:18, the minute that we were to go back to class. Why? Because after standing in sadness and solidarity, we knew that we had to make sure that we would never have to stand there again. It is our responsibility to make change. We are the future. In my future, I do not see automatic weapons. A weapon that can perform mass murder is not necessary for self-defense. In my future, I see political compromise to keep students safe. This is an issue above politics. Lives are at stake. I will spend every minute that I can fighting for gun control laws. I am done seeing gun violence every day in the news. I am done being afraid to go to concerts. I am done being afraid to wake up every morning to go to school. It is our responsibility not to let society become desensitized to gun violence. On some days, I come home and I ask my father how many mass shootings it will take for people to listen. The answer should be none. Yet in just 2018, there have been 19 shootings in school campuses across the United States. Over the coming months, I plan on taking action to create change. I will be writing letters to government officials so that my voice will be heard. I also plan on marching for our lives in Los Angeles on Saturday, March 24th, and I encourage anyone who would like to join us. Our lives are worth saving. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you. Thanks, Jordan and Hannah, Alyssa and Alexandra. What was amazing, what I hope you heard, a number of things. Number one, brave students, first and foremost, who are stirred and disturbed into action, who want to make a change. And yes, please be our leaders. Let us be able to vote for you, elect you into office, and you guys make the change. And until you get to elected office, get your friends to register to vote and make a difference. What I also heard, which was extraordinary, was tremendous support in our area, at least in these 4 campuses, by the school administrators. I don't think that was the case necessarily all over the country. And the fact that the school administrator supported this and created options for students to participate or not, and also the tremendous level of respect. We know that our students are sharing their passion, but not every student around them has that same passion or might look at this issue differently. But yet the level of respect that I have heard that was demonstrated on campuses, I think is really extraordinary as well. I'm also really grateful to the North American Federation of Temple Youth, which helps, through their social justice programs, helps to inspire a future generation, forget the future, the current generation of leaders, not youth leaders, but the current generation of leaders who are making a difference, who are taking a stand, who are learning how to raise their voice, how to march, how to protest, how to lobby, how to enter into conversations to help make a difference in our world. So I just praise all 4 of you and all of our students who participated this past week, those who will join in marches, whether in Los Angeles or in Long Beach or throughout the country a week from tomorrow, to raise our voices, to march with our feet, and to make a difference with this issue. So thanks to all of you. Thank you. Yeah, you. There it goes.
Do you have it?
There you go.
Shabbat Shalom. My name's Andrea Lawrence, and I am very honored to be representing the Board of Directors tonight. I want to say thank you to Shelley Zirkis for hosting our wonderful Onig that we're going to go and explore in a few minutes. During the Onig, though, I want you to remember, this is show and tell, to pick up your 2 boxes of matzah. And if you haven't, these are so cool. These are so cool. And thank you to Elliot and Gail Swartz for donating these as our gift for Passover. And seriously.
I can't see what's on the front. I can't see.
Oh, geez, what is on the front? Well, you'll have to pick up your boxes of matzah to find out, unless you've got really good eyesight. So it's very exciting. On Saturday, March 24th, we will not be having our monthly tour on the trails. Not. Instead, please join us for the Long Beach March of Our Lives walk. We'll be meeting at the Long Beach Alpert JCC and shuttle over to the march. Please contact Laurel Perry for more information, and please RSVP to Carrie in the office so that we know to look for you at the JCC and we don't leave you behind. On our next salon concert, which we just, thank you, Randy, we call it the Elan Salon. It's the Prince of Egypt Live, and this is going to be really exciting, featuring Cantor Davidson, Saturday evening, March 24th. It's going to be a very busy day, hosted at the home of Gail and Elliot Swartz. Please join us for an intimate evening of music and mingling beginning at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are $100 per person, space is limited, so make your reservations at the TBE office. Actually, it says to make them now, but the office is closed, so you can email. And our community Passover Seder is on Wednesday, April 4th here at TBE, beginning at 5:45 p.m. This year, the Seder will be led by Cantor Davidson. So surprising. Third, and it's going to be chaired and hosted by, Jody Davidson. Woohoo! It's $36 for adults, $18 for children, and free for children under 4. Please make your mail your check made payable to TBE Sisterhood to Jody Davidson before March 26th. And please note that we will not be having a Friday night Shabbat service on Friday, March 30th, because it's Passover. Instead, please join us on Saturday morning, the 31st at 10 a.m. for our Shabbat Passover Festival service. We will worship with festival liturgy, including Kaddish. And Shabbat Shalom. You're welcome.
Just in case anyone's wondering, for the Prince of Egypt Live, I'll be joined by Cantor's Sarah Haas, Yona Klieger, and Rachel Goldman. So it should be a wonderful, wonderful night of music, all of the music from the Prince of Egypt. So,
thanks. Just a couple of additional announcements. Who is the volunteer in the gift shop tonight? Who's opening the gift shop tonight? Nobody?
What?
Okay, the gift shop will not be open tonight.
Really?
Right? Oh, Barbara is?
Barbara is.
Okay, well, here's a story. We're kind of moving to another. So Barbara will, remember from last week? Barbara will open up the gift shop for the first 10 minutes after the service. If you'd like to go and get something in the gift shop or browse, go see Barbara then. Then she's going to lock it up so she can come in and enjoy the oneg with all of us, because if there's not a lot of business in there, it can get really lonely in there. However, if the 10 minutes pass and you need Barbara, just find her in the social hall. She'll be happy to open it up for you again and get something. Sound good, Barbara? Okay, good, thank you. Also, lastly, want to invite Lori Jacobs and Mercedes and Hannah, and I don't know your name, I'm sorry, right there. What? Maria, and some members of our Girl Scouts who are here today. This is one of the annual traditions that Lori brings some of our local Girl Scouts to come and enjoy our Shabbat service and to get a sense of who we are and how we pray. So it's great to have you here. Also, while Lori is here, Lori serves as are you president of the Northwest Council? Vice president of the San Pedro Northwest Neighborhood Council, thank you, and she organized an extraordinary program every year. It's called Pathways to Employment. It's an opportunity for teens and youth ages 16 to 24 to join at the Olguin campus of the San Pedro High School, meet with, to learn about crafting resumes, interviewing for jobs, developing some great skills so that they can either enter the workforce while they're in college or help to prepare. It's a great program. Our Rotary Club has been involved with this for a number of years, and there are postcards. If you want to see Lori afterwards, she can tell you about this. Great to pass it to our teens who are here, grandchildren, and it's open to anyone who is here in the South Bay, so it's a great program. So thank you. I think I got all the announcements.
Also, if you are in 8th through 12th grades and you're here tonight, then please join Rachel Fisher, our Speedy Advisor, in the Moadon during Oneg Shabbat tonight for a fantastic game night. So come and join together and spend some time with your peers.
Excellent. Our concluding prayers begin with Aleinu. Please stand if you're able.
עלינו לשבח לדוד הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהן, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו פורעים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, ונאמר היה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You can be seated. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. If you're in a period of mourning, either Shiva, Shloshim, or Yortzeit, when I recite that person's name, please stand and remain standing until all the names have been shared. And together we will stand as one community to recite the words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. We're observing the first 7 days of mourning for Mutsoku Profanto, mother of June Gainan, mother-in-law of Maurice Gainan, and Jane Fine, mother of Sumner Fine, and Marla's brother-in-law's mother. And we continue to observe Shloshim, the first 30 days of remembrance for Edith Bell. And we remember those who died at this season in years past, whose Yortzeiten fell this week, and whom we remember by name tonight. Salik Abramowitz, Isidore Almas, William Borden, Marie Botek, Arthur Berman, Robert Calatrello, Harry Chanowski, Arthur Cohen, Susan Cohen, Stephen Dara, Menachem Mendel Davidson, William Demoff, Clara Friedman, Dorothy Glasser, Bill Gren, Denise Hoffman, Leah Emanuel, Isidore Kaplan, Sylvia Kaplan, Sam Katzman, Tobias Kotzen, Oscar Lastar, David J. Lerner, Dorothy Lewin, Charles Merrick, Murray Marcus, Melvin Moskowitz, Jim Reeks, Louis Rogoff, Al Rosenberg, Lillian Rosenkrantz, Hyman Saul, Eldur Schwieger, Rebecca Shehan, David Silver, Ruth Slutsky, Joan Brofman-Sofer, Anna Stoll, Fran Taylor, Philip Wallach, Susan Weidenfeld, Ethel Weiner, Sally Archiver, Martin Udell, and Gussie Zinner. If you are remembering someone this Shabbat and I neglected to share the name aloud, please stand and share the name. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. Please stand if you're able. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chai echon u'vyom echon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'ad alav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shma Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei almaya.
Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei d'kudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel. To which we say, Amen.
Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imru Wait, gather in the middle, say motzi, come hold the drink. Shabbat shalom. Gather, gather,
Everyone come and touch the challah.
Gather, gather, gather. Come on, gather, gather, gather.
Let's all be...
Well, you hunt. Gather.
Let's all join together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. 1, 2, 3, go! All right, let's get with all of us.
Do it for the gram.
All right, ready? Okay.
At least it's not Dad taking the
Thank you.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry about the printer. I'm like, oh my God, I have to go.
It was great because then I was like, let me print out the other ones just in case.